Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this day on somewhat of a rainy day, which is kind of nice. I'll tell you about the weather in just a moment. Today on our show, from Harvard Eye Associates, we have Dr. Skarna, and she is going to talk about going for an eye exam. What do they look for? Or what's the steps? They want to know about your history. Well, it's actually I found a very relaxing experience when I went a while back, so we're going to talk about that and how they can get your eyes checked and what they are looking for and how often you should go. Very important. Then we're going to take you out. Well, Lisa went out to the Toshiba Golf Classic in Newport Beach, which starts up, I think it's next week or about a week and a half from now. That's part of the seniors tour they do every year, and it's open for anyone to go and enjoy. I've been there before in the past, and it's a lot of fun to see these great golfers out there. Rodden Bellner is going to be here today. He's going to talk to you about the different waste disposal programs, recycle programs that the city puts on, and how you should not be just dumping out your trash, your mattresses, and those kind of things by the dumpsters. So I'll tell you all about that. Now, meetings today, there is only one, the Disaster Preparedness Task Force, Cypress Room at 9:30. Now, let's talk about the weather. And as I said yesterday, there was a system that was going to come down, and I said it would probably get here about 10, 11 o'clock at night. Well, that was probably about it. I think probably by about 11:30, maybe a little before that, we started to get some rain. So today, what's going to be happening is a little bit of everything. I left a little sun in there because as I drove to work this morning, it was actually partly sunny out. This is going to be a day where we're going to get scattered showers. If you're watching us in the morning, if you're watching us live, we just got one about 15 minutes ago. Then we could have some sun, and then there's an even possibility of a thunderstorm later as things warm up just a little bit. So a little bit of everything today. And so far this morning at our house, I don't know, about 6:30 this morning, our gauge showed about 1/3 of an inch. So, I think by the end of the day, we'll have at least a 1/2 inch out there. And what was nice, there was snow on Saddleback this morning. Not a lot, but there was a little dusting of snow, and that is good. This is a very cold system, and it's actually dumped a lot of snow up in Big Bear. And further up in the Sierras in Mammoth, got about 6 inches from this storm so far. Here we go, looking ahead, cool weather. As we get to Friday, maybe probably Thursday evening into Friday, maybe into Saturday, we'll see. But that's a bigger system that could dump more rain, maybe about 3/4 of an inch. So we'll see about that. But that's going to be another cold system that is coming down. Now, how much rain and if it'll come in, right now it looks like it could come in Thursday evening, but we'll see in this area when it gets down here, and it may spill over into Saturday morning. As we look way ahead, as we get, I think, into probably Monday of next week will be our first chance back to see about 70 degrees. So this is what we should be getting. This is normal. This is what we want. So it's good news. Let's look around the county and beyond today. And yeah, snow right there in Big Bear. They're getting a decent amount up there, several inches of snow. I think so far they've had probably close to about 4 or 5 inches overnight, and they'll get more as the day progresses. And then certainly as that next system comes in around Friday. So again, a chance of scattered showers today. Actually, I should put more than a chance since we already had some. But really what I'm saying throughout the day, this system, the way it's going to kind of wrap around, the bulk of it is down by San Diego now, but sort of the tail of it is coming across our coast and coming in. So expect scattered showers today, possible thunderstorm later on today, and some sunshine mixed in as well. And then probably by late evening, all this stuff will blow out of here. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Don't let spine, knee, or hip pain get in the way of your day-to-day activities. Find yourself back on the golf course or continue playing with your grandchildren pain-free. With the latest advancements in stem cell treatment techniques, we can transform the way you look and feel today. I'm Dr. Bidai, a double board certified pain management specialist. Stop by or call our office today to see if you're a candidate for stem cell therapy.
If your loved one is struggling, trying to maintain independence in their home, ActiCare can help. Our caregivers provide home care services to relieve the strain placed on family and make staying at home possible. Don't let another day go by without getting the care they deserve.
We can provide your loved one the care they need and motivation, and give you peace of mind. Please call to set up a free care consultation.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure for those coping with Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
Individual care, specialized care. At Harvard Eye Associates, your vision and quality of life can be trusted to a group of specialists that provide advanced technology for the treatment of cataracts, including laser-assisted surgery, a broad range of intraocular lenses, and astigmatism correction. Come join the Circle of Care at Harvard Eye Associates, where the future of vision is today.
Well, Dr. Karen Scavarna is with us today. She has been with us on the show many times. In fact, I have seen her over there at Harvard Eye myself. And today we are talking about what to look for, what you need to know when you get an eye exam. Am I right? And how important it is. Welcome. First, let me ask you, how often should one go? And I guess it depends on the ages.
Right. Well, you know, there's a lot of different recommendations for different ages. The standard recommendation is if you're under 40, you know, if you're having visual difficulties, or if you have a family history of something like glaucoma or diabetes, you should be seen more often, maybe every year. But once you hit 40, you should come in for a routine eye exam, because that's the age where we start to see diseases developing most commonly. For young children, usually when they start school, about 5, we should see them. When you're an older adult, at 65, we should be seeing you annually.
Okay, and you know, I mentioned to the doctor beforehand that it was kind of interesting. Both my mother-in-law, who's I think just turned 70, but also my sister, who's 52, just had cataract surgery.
Right.
So, you know, that 52 was a little young, but that's the importance of getting an eye exam.
Right. Anytime you notice that there's something different with your eyes or your vision, that's when you should be coming in. You don't want to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what happens. Someone comes in, eye exam, maybe they haven't been in for 3-4 years.
Right. So one of the most important things to do when you come in for an eye exam is to bring in a list of your medications, any eye drops you use, any systemic medications, because sometimes systemic medications lead to ocular side effects, so we need to be checking for those things. Also, if you have a history of anything that goes on, that has gone on with your eyes, you know, if you've had surgery before, if you were 5 years old and you got hit in the eye with something, it's good for us to know, because then we can check to see if there's certain things that might develop from that. It also gives us a reason for why the vision may not be correctable to 20/20 in that eye. Okay. So the other thing is, when you get there, what we'll do is we check vision. So that's one of the most important things. We'll do pre-testing, and then we go into a refraction. The refraction is that thing where everyone knows, you know, which is better, 1 or 2. But the most important part of that is, one, we need to know what you need so that we can make recommendations for glasses, for contacts, whether or not you might need a surgery, that kind of thing. So it determines what the ability of the eye is. And then we also will look inside the eye. We'll look at the back of the eye for cataracts. We look for dry eye. We look for retinal problems, for glaucoma, those kind of things. So that's the bulk of an eye exam. Oftentimes you're there for an hour. It's not a quick exam, and I think that some people are surprised by that.
Now, I know that the time that I went over to Harvard Eye, they put, I think it was some sort of a green dye. Am I right about that?
You are right.
Tell me what that does.
So that green dye is fluorescein and an anesthetic. And we use that to numb the eye so we can do something called tonometry, which is a way of checking the pressure in the eye. But also that green dye is a way of diagnosing certain things. So when you have, let's say you have dry skin, and your skin, it flakes off. So when you have dry skin, it flakes off. The same thing happens in the eye. So if you're missing cells in the eye, that green dye is taken up in that area. So it gives us a good idea of whether or not a person has a dry eye. It also shows if there's some kind of a foreign body in the eye. If someone has, sometimes people will have something called herpes simplex in the eye. It picks up those type of things, the cells that are damaged. We can see that when we use the fluorescein dye. But yeah, then you can go out and you can go to a party with your black light and you can glow.
Turn me into a Vulcan, right?
Right.
Now, I know when I went and did that, I don't believe, no, I did not have to wear any special sunglasses afterwards. I think you folks always I wear sunglasses religiously anyway, even on a day like this, we're getting the glare from the clouds, I wear sunglasses. But why is it that sometimes people do have on those, you know, big sunglasses?
Well, you mean after the exam?
After the exam, you know what I'm talking about, the square
yes.
kind of things,
Yeah. So sometimes we dilate a person at an exam. Now, you don't need to be dilated at every single eye exam, but periodically you will be dilated and you need to wear sunglasses on your way home because your pupils are very large. Sometimes people, after they have cataract surgery, they need special protection and they wear those really big, really square sunglasses. And my son, who's a surfer, all those surfer guys think they're the coolest things in the world, so they're starting to wear them too.
You know, I recall years ago, I think it was in the 80s, that was, I would go to the ski sales, you know, snow ski sales, and they'd have those there.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah, they were
So
cool.
let's talk about the kinds of things you said you look for: cataracts, glaucoma, all kinds of things that could be happening, and different kinds of machines are used. Here's another one.
Yes.
I know there was one that I'm not sure what you call it, but I actually looked into it, and it kind of wrapped around.
Right. So what you were seeing up there, that's called a slit lamp, and that's something, it's called a biomicroscope, and it's a microscope that allows us to look into the eye with both eyes together, which allows us to see stereoscopically. So the one that you were talking about, where you put your eyes in it wrapped around, that's called an Optos, which is a fundus camera or a retinal camera. And what's interesting about that camera is, in the past, we used to only be able to see a very small part of the back of the eye. So think about it, if you were looking into the back of the eye or into a room through a keyhole. Well, that camera allows us to look all the way to the edges of the retina. It's like opening the door and seeing the rest of the room. So it gives us a much better view of the back of the eye.
And you know what I want to say, I went through all this it's actually very comfortable.
Crying.
Yeah, I was crying. Yeah, I was got very emotional.
Yes.
Dr. T told me a story, and no, that's Dr. Tamorian, by the way. It was actually very relaxing. All you folks there made it so, and there's nothing scary about it or anything like that. And it was kind of neat. Yeah, I was there to do a segment, but it was also neat to find out, to look at all the different equipment that you folks use, and I know it was done for me. I'm sure you do it for everyone. You explain, this is why you're doing this. This is what this apparatus does, right?
You know, it's interesting because that is a good point. I think one of the most important things is that understanding what's going on with your eyes and understanding what you can do with your eyes. We always talk about the fact that our goal is that your eyes last longer than you do.
Yes,
So,
well, yeah.
you know, you're
That's true.
Everyone needs to know what's going on and what they need to do as far as follow-up or as far as treatment plans. And so it's really important that people understand and that they're told that. So we spend a lot of time at Harvard Eye trying to explain what's going on. And that's our goal. I'm glad you had a good experience with that. But it's our goal for every single patient.
Yeah, and like I said, it was actually enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it takes about an hour or so, so you got to give yourself some time, but it's
well,
needed.
One of the other things that's really nice about where we work is that we have the cutting edge equipment.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of
do.
things out there that you can do, and you can do it old school or you can do it new school, but we are very fortunate in that we have almost everything that's even out there when it comes to treating disease, diagnosing disease, and I think it's because there's a strong commitment in the practice to stay at the cutting edge.
Okay, how often, like when I went in there, fortunately everything was fine, except for, wearing these readers, and they said, you know what, you can get prescription, or you can just stick with readers for now.
Right.
But I was thankfully fine. How often should I come back? In other words, some of these diseases, cataracts, glaucoma, retinal disease, can they come on that quickly within a year? Or I know glaucoma is usually, excuse me, not glaucoma, cataracts are usually kind of a slow progression.
Right. Most of the diseases of the eye are slow progression.
Okay.
So, but if you notice something, if you were to notice new flashes of lights, new floating objects, that kind of thing, you would want to give us a call. Usually within a couple days you want to be in. Okay. If you're seeing a curtain coming over your vision, you really want to come in on the same day. So, so those are the kind of things. For glaucoma, if you're a glaucoma suspect, you definitely don't want to miss 1 or 2 years. Well, I'm sorry, you don't want to miss 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You're also someone who doesn't want to go 5 years without an exam because glaucoma can develop and you don't know it. That's the biggest problem with glaucoma is you can lose vision without knowing it and you don't feel it as it develops. So if you have any kind of history in the family with glaucoma, you should be checked about once a year.
Okay, and that's good to know. You mentioned floaters in the eye, and I know this is common for everyone.
Yeah.
But when do you know it's uncommon? And kind of explain first what floaters are.
Yeah. So floaters are, now there's a couple different kinds of floaters. There's these little clear floaters that you can see as you're kind of looking at a clear wall and it'll float up and down. And those are the cells inside the eye, the vitreous cells. But if you start to notice a bunch of black cells, and you start to see, like lines, or if you're having flashes of lights, what can happen is there's something called a vitreous detachment. So the vitreous is a fluid inside the eye, and it's attached very loosely to the back of the eye. And in about 50% of people over 50 years old, that comes off of the back of the eye.
Okay.
That can cause flashes, and it can actually cause some floaters that float around. Those aren't necessarily a problem, but when it comes off, it can cause a little tear in the retina. And that tear can become a detachment. So that's why you need to have that checked out. If you have a tear, it's fairly straightforward to treat. And usually it's just, an office visit. If you have a detachment, that can really impact your life for weeks, if not months, if not your lifetime. So you want to check those things early.
Okay, and as I said, we all get them. I mean, even years and years ago, I remember, when I was 20 or something, you see it, they're just, they last for a few seconds, and you're like, what is that?
Right.
And I recall going to the, many, many years ago, the Science Center up in San Francisco.
Yes.
And the Exploratorium, and they actually had an exhibit.
Yes.
Like, what are these you're looking at?
Right.
And it was kind of neat. They're going,
That's a great exploratorium.
It was really neat.
That's a great place, yes.
Yeah, but they had a whole thing explaining that, so that's good to know. What you also look for is dry eye, and I know that's common, right?
We see a lot of dry eye in our practice. So this is, we found
a
video
on
my phone. So when you look at this picture, if you see the little dots there, that's where I was talking about how if the, cells on the cornea are missing, and that's a very painful eye right there. That needs to be rehabilitated for sure. So think of a windshield and a bunch of pits on the windshield, and how you can't see through it. Well, the same thing happens with the eye. If you have an eye like that, you're not seeing very well.
Right.
So there's a couple of things. One, we want you to see better. Two, we want you to feel better. And three, if this person has a cataract and wants to have cataract surgery, you have to clear this up before you can have a really good cataract surgery and get good measurements and get good vision afterwards. So there's a lot of testing that we do for dry eye. If someone has dry eye, we recommend that they come in for a dry eye evaluation. Again, we're very fortunate. We have some of the cutting edge testing when it comes to dry eye diagnostics. So I would recommend coming in for that for sure.
Okay, and I understand that's something that maybe over the last year or two, that prior to getting your cataracts done, is they're looking more and more to getting that dry eye corrected beforehand, right?
You know, the research is starting to show that the dry eye, if you don't have that under control, it impacts the pre-op measurements. So you have a much better outcome when you have your dry eye under control. So research is always evolving, and we have to follow what we learn. So we're learning a lot.
Just quickly, what can somebody do on a daily or weekly basis to alleviate dry eye? Because here, living in this area, of course, we obviously know when it's hot and dry out during the summer. But even this time of the year, people forget that this is, although we've got a little participation today, we've had cold, dry weather. You go inside, you have the dry heat inside. You can look at your plants in the windowsill, and they're starving for water, and yet it's raining outside.
They're all dead. I think that, first of all, if you don't have a problem, for the most part, you don't have to do a whole lot. But over-the-counter artificial tears are nice. A lot of times we can have we can use a gel tear at bedtime. That's always really a great way to go. Humidifiers are great. If you're really having trouble, that's a simple way to take care of things. People who work on a computer tend to stare, and I've found that people who use desktop humidifiers are great. So you can give that a try too.
That's a good idea.
Really,
little
really
miniature
beneficial.
Ones. Any special glasses someone should wear?
For
computers. I remember years ago when you had the old CRT displays, they recommended. I don't know if now, they're totally different displays.
Well, we are recommending, we call it blue light technology, but it's something that cuts the low light that are coming, the low light wavelengths of light that are coming off of computers. They're very beneficial. They really just relax your eyes. They're cutting that short wavelength of light that we don't know whether or not it's causing macular damage. So, with these young kids that have been using these phones for a long time, we're keeping an eye on that research too.
Are those over-the-counter type glasses or prescription?
My understanding is you can get some online, but also if you're going to be getting a pair of glasses or computer glasses, then you can put it into that, the lens.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you can have it.
Now, do you notice if I'm wearing them like right now, would I see a blue, or actually no, it would be the opposite, right?
A little bit of yellow.
Yeah.
And it does kind of impact the color. The color vision perception, yes.
Well, I remember years ago you used to see that infomercial for those blue light sunglasses, and I don't know if those work or not, but
Well, they do sharpen things up. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but everything looks a little yellowish.
Right.
Well, it's important to get your eyes examined, as the doctor just said, and as you get older, have that done on a much more regular basis. Certainly, if there's a history, whether a history for you've had problems in the past, or eye damage, or maybe it's within your family. Right,
absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Always good to see you. Say hi to everyone over there at Harvard Eye.
I will, yeah.
All right,
thank
we'll
you.
see you next time.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
The Laguna Hills Lodge is very proud to have been awarded the TripAdvisor Award of Excellence for the last 5 years. Discover this family-friendly boutique hotel and enjoy our crystal clear pool and spa, beautiful gardens, and convenient location. Our designer upgraded rooms feature luxury comforts of much higher priced hotel chains and include free continental breakfast, parking, Wi-Fi, and more. We match the lowest price you can find online. Ask about our Laguna Woods special offer.
At South County Lexus, we really are different. We're California's exclusive Lexus Plus dealer. Lexus Plus is a new way of doing business. At a Lexus Plus dealer, you can expect an upfront, negotiation-free, hassle-free price right on the vehicle. The same price you'll find on our website, all the way through the transaction. At South County Lexus, we feel this is the way of the future, and this is the way the customer prefers to do business. South County Lexus, your exclusive Lexus Plus dealer. Different, just like you.
Welcome to the Towers. As president of our association, I'd like to tell you about life here. Membership includes nightly open menu dinners, weekly housekeeping, on-call maintenance, and a range of on-site activities. Join our community of active, independent seniors. It's elevated living in a hotel-style environment. Visit us at towers@lagunawoodsvillage.com.
It's never too late to improve your health with exercise. Challenge yourself to get moving in the morning. Hi, I'm Susan Tuttle. I'd like to encourage you to tune in to Channel 6 each weekday mornings at 7:55. 30 minutes of daily exercise will add years to your life. What are you waiting for? Come join me.
Welcome back. I have Jeff Purser, who's the Executive Director of Hogue Charity Sports, and we're talking to him about the Toshiba Classic here at the beautiful Newport Beach Country Club. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
This is so beautiful, all the new construction.
It's amazing, isn't it? Quite a difference from a couple of years ago.
Absolutely. When we walked up, it's so nice.
Yeah, we constantly get from the tour players that this is without question the best clubhouse that they visit each year. So it's nice to have the event at a place like this.
Tell me a little bit about the Toshiba Classic and being here at the Newport Beach Country Club.
Yeah, so the Toshiba Classic has been here for 22 years, although it's 20th year that Hogue Hospital has been the host and operator of it. It's one of the great stops on tour. It's a little different than a lot of modern new golf courses. You know, an old style traditional Parklands golf that's been around a long time. Players love it. The atmosphere is great. You know, again, look how beautiful this place is. Yeah. So it's become a great, popular stop on the PGA Champions Tour. We get the best field of the year because of it, and so it's going to be a great year this year too.
Okay, good. And I know that we're hearing some construction in the background, so you guys are setting up, right?
Yeah, it takes about 6 weeks to set up.
Okay.
And I tell people that we're not all that different than a team operation, you know, major league team. We work year-round to operate the event. Our season's 9 days instead of 6 months.
Right.
And we have to construct an entire stadium every year.
Right.
And so that's a big process.
It is, and I mean, looking around, they sure have an awful lot to put together.
We do. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of square feet that we have to construct in tents and flooring.
Yeah.
But you know, our structures for hospitality, they include heating, air conditioning, cable service, televisions. You know, we're putting up special suites for all the customers and sponsors, and that takes a long time. It's a big process.
We're going to talk a little bit about some of those specialties later on in our discussion.
Yeah.
So obviously there's some charities involved, and Hogue Hospital is a big part of that. Tell me about them.
So Hogue Hospital, again, the host and operator, and so the vast majority of what we raise from the net proceeds from the tournament benefit Hogue. And the last several years we've benefited the Mary and Dick Allen Diabetes Center at Hogue. We've benefited the Hogue Heart and Vascular Institute, the Hogue Cancer Institute, the Hogue Women's Health Institute in years past. It just depends on where the funds are needed in the hospital at that time. But in our 20 years, again, including this year, we've raised well over $20 million for charity, and the vast majority have gone to Hogue. So we're proud of that. Yeah.
Well, that's great. And how, you know, how do your funds get distributed? So is that from sponsorship? Is it from attendance?
The majority of our income, our funding comes from sponsorships, corporate sponsorships, doing everything from entertaining, pro-ams, promotion and advertising, those kind of things. Ticket sales are a nice piece of it, a little bit extra. Food and beverage sales, those kind of things. So it really is corporate funded. although it's a public event. And hopefully we'll have about 80,000 people out here over the 3-day period or 5-day period attending the event and enjoying the golf. So.
I'm sure they will. It sounds like you have a good lineup too.
Yeah,
Let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned obviously you need a lot of people to put this thing together.
Yeah.
So talk about your volunteers. How does that work?
Yeah. Volunteers are essential on a PGA Tour event. And it goes back years and years and years. That's how these things were built way back when the tour was starting. We'll have about 750 volunteers in total. We've got probably about 40 committees. Those committees are run by committee chairs who work, if not year-round, close to year-round, helping us organize, contact the volunteers, get their schedules to them, and manage them on site. And then, I would say probably close to 25,000 total hours of time are committed to us by those volunteers. So it's crucial, and we've got a great group of volunteers, great leaders that have helped us do that, and so we're grateful to them, obviously.
That's great. So let's talk a little bit about the volunteers that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
How do you get involved? I often see older folks doing it. So.
Yeah. Well, again, we need about 750 volunteers, so we reach across a broad spectrum of avenues to try and find those volunteers. And it's real easy to get involved. Just you can register online to volunteer and kind of pick your committee. We do have quite a few retirees. They have the time to give, and it's of interest to them. They stay active, and it's a fun time. They're out here with friends, enjoying the time. They get food and beverage and tickets and all that kind of stuff. So it's a neat week for them. We have a lot of people who have done it for many, many years, and they look forward to it every year.
So golfers out there, you guys can be really close to some of these professionals when you're out on the course volunteering.
Well, they're the closest to them.
That's right.
So yeah, it's we call it the best seat in the house. And there's really some neat committees. Everyone knows the marshals where they're saying quiet, please don't go there, but you could walk inside the ropes and score for them. You can carry the standards. You could help us with admissions. There's many, many roles, and they're all fun and enjoyable. And so we always need help.
I like it.
Yeah.
So there's tons of things to do. You have special events. Tell me about some of those.
Yeah, we have a lot of special events. The one that is a big focus for us now is our Military Appreciation Day, and we've got some great sponsors, including Microsemi and many others in the community. It's a day where we honor the people that have served or currently serve. We offer 4 free tickets for anybody that is part of the military. Come to the gate. You can register online as well at our website. And then we also provide food and beverage for them for the day. So it's just a way to thank them for their service. We also have some sponsors for that day, and we'll give money to some of our military causes, including Open Hearts for Purple Hearts, the 1-1 Foundation here in Newport Beach, and a few others. So we talked about charity earlier, and the vast majority of the funding goes to Hogue in terms of the profits. But we carve out some money for some secondary charities, and military is a big cause of ours now as well.
Great, great. I think that's super. And what about other days? Like you have student days?
Yeah, we do. We have student day on Sunday. So normally during the week, 11 and under, kids 11 and under get in for free. And then on the final round Sunday, which that's when you most want to come, we have extended that to be our Student Appreciation Day, and that's 18 and under get in for free.
Okay.
And so we're love to have as many kids out here as we can. There's putting contests and games for them to participate in, and we think it's a great time for grandparents to come out with their grandkids too if they're golf fans.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
How many girls do you see out here in terms of students? Do you see a lot of girls now?
We're seeing more.
Okay.
We're seeing more. Yeah. It's a men's golf tournament, so it might be a little more skewed men, but over the last 20 or 30 years, culture in America's changed, and we have a lot of females that participate in sports, and we love seeing that. So we're seeing more and more of it. Yeah.
I think it's good sometimes for them to see just some of the differences, because sometimes the guys might hit harder than the girls, or different techniques.
Yeah, well, most golfers don't hit like the guys on tour. They hit like the LPGA players, and they can learn a lot more from them than the guys. So I wish I could get my daughter to play, but she's all about soccer.
All about soccer. Well, that's all right.
That's
She can do golf for fun on the side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about a partner of yours, Blue Shield of California.
Yeah, Blue Shield of California is a new partner of ours. They have some great programs for us, including they're partnering with Hogue to provide the Blue Shield Hogue Health Village right at the main gate, where People can learn about some of the healthcare opportunities and services at Hoag Hospital. And then Blue Shield has kind of a fun thing that they're doing where you can take professional pictures for either literally your work and passports and those kind of things, or just for fun. So it's a neat thing that they're doing. But they also, right there at the 9th green, have a senior section bleacher that they sponsored, only for seniors. Okay. So a great opportunity to get out of the sun because those are shaded. And the 9th hole, we finished playing on the 9th hole as well as the 18th. So it's a great spot right by the main gate. Don't have to walk very far either. And right by the Coca-Cola zone, which is all the food and beverage. So it's a great spot for that. And they're also sponsoring the shaded bleachers on the 18th green as well. So keep people out of the sun and safe.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like there's an awful lot to do. Not just watching the golfers, but there's other things you can participate in.
Yeah, we have the Pau Maui Hawaiian Village down between 10 and 18, and we're roasting a pig each day. So
Are you really?
A Hawaiian theme.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that there was vodka that was made in Hawaii.
I didn't either till we met them.
That's great.
But it's actually very good.
Let's talk about some of the details. Parking, shuttles. Tell me about how that works.
Yeah, the best part about being here at Newport Beach Country Club is that we have parking in close proximity. You can go to a lot of events where you have a long shuttle ride, but everything's within a couple of minutes. So we park down at the dunes. That's an official lot. And then on the weekend, we have parking all along Fashion Island Mall. Just a short little shuttle ride down, a minute or two, right to the front gate, and it's very, very convenient. So when people come down to the Fashion Island, Newport Beach area, they'll see parking signs all over the place. It is on our website, like you mentioned, but it's convenient and easy for everyone.
So how many players do you have coming out, and tell me who they are?
Yeah, so we have 78 players that play on the Champions Tour event, and we're pretty excited because we have all of the top players that are eligible to play. Fred Couples, of course, making a return. Bernhard Longer, Player of the Year, seems like 10 years in a row. John Daly will be back. He's always popular. Everyone loves to see Daly. We're excited because Tom Watson just committed. And Tom, obviously one of the great players of all time, World Golf Hall of Famer. We have a lot of new players coming out that we're excited about too. Jose Maria Lotharbal and Miguel Angel Jimenez, great Ryder Cup players from Spain. David Toms, Jerry Kelly. We're hopeful Steve Stricker will be making it, so a lot of rookies coming out. So a lot of great names along with some of the ones we've known for a long time and have played here many years. So.
I saw Freddie Couples out at La Costa many years ago, so I'm really excited to see him out here.
So is everybody.
Yeah,
so, yeah
he's a big draw.
Yeah, he's one of the biggest draws and really in history. So, and he lives right here, and this is one of his favorite events. Of course, he's won twice, so we're looking forward to having him back.
And then John, he just hits the heck out of that ball.
John is such a naturally gifted golfer, and he drove the first green all 3 days last year. He played really well. He won in Houston, his first event just last spring, so we're hopeful he plays well here, and we're looking forward to having him too.
Some very exciting players.
And John Daly is actually going to do a concert out on the 17th green with a friend of his, wrapping up the military day on Saturday. So he plays guitar and sings. That's one of the things he loves in life. So anybody that wants to stick around after play, immediately after play on Saturday, we'll have the concert on the 17th green. We call it Party on the Pond with John Daly.
I like that.
That's where you could have some Pau Maui vodka.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Pau Maui vodka and John Daly playing the guitar.
It's as good as it gets.
Nice, I'll say.
Yeah.
And Newport, nonetheless.
There you go.
Excellent. Well, thank you. I really appreciate all the information.
Thanks for having us again.
And we're looking forward to coming out to the Toshiba Classic.
Very good. I hope everyone from Laguna Woods comes and joins us.
If you have any questions or need additional details, you can go to toshibaclassic.com. And we'll be right back after this.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From our delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Hi, welcome back. In an effort to keep our community clean and free from hazardous waste, we have Ron Beldner here, who's a resident and past president of United Mutual,
to tell us about the problems and also some solutions, right?
Yes.
Well, excellent. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the community with hazardous waste now.
Okay. Well, I'm doing a recycling project within the village, and we use the money to buy food for the South County Food Bank. And so when I go around to some of the dumpsters, I have been seeing hazardous waste thrown in there. Everything from full-size furniture to explosives to chemicals and everything else. And these are becoming an acute problem within the village because this can go and cause some accidents or somebody could be hurt. So we don't want that to happen.
Right, and on the screen now we have some hazardous waste. We have cans and paint and oil. What are some other things that you're seeing now?
Well, for example, the picture over here on the right, that laid there for about 8 months before somebody decided to call up and find out how they could get it picked up. And that's easy to have it done. But I think the first thing we should do is tell people what a hazardous material is.
Okay.
You know, there are certain laws, and it's a violation of the federal, state, county, and municipal, as well as the mutual regulations, to put any hazardous material in or around the dumpsters. As you can see, that was around the dumpsters.
Right.
Now, the definition of a hazardous material is anything that exhibits corrosive, poisonous, flammable, explosive, biological, radioactive, or reactive properties, and it has a potential to harm a person's health or the environment.
Just a lot of things.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of things, yeah.
The standard PAM that you may spray your little pot with or when you're cooking, that's a hazardous material. The cleaning solutions that you use at home are also that way. Stuff that you use in car, your carpet cleaner, the spot removers. All of these items become hazardous material and have to be done a different way and handled a different way.
Right.
And just to let you know, people like to know what it costs for our trash, and I think that's very important here. The trash collection in Laguna Woods for United for 2018, they have budgeted $390,673, and they're charging every mutual member $5.15 a month to pay for this.
Okay.
In third, they've budgeted $529,881, and in third, they charge their members $7.24 a month.
Okay.
But there's another charge that's put on, and that's by GRF, and GRF has $196,208 in their budget, and another $128 is charged to every resident every month.
Okay.
So the total for just these three areas is over $1,116,000. So there is a lot of money for our trash pickup, and this doesn't include any penalties we have, any special pickups that might have to be done. So we're paying for all this stuff. So we have to be very careful of what goes into these dumpsters.
Right, and so around the community, what we're seeing is people are not using the facilities that they're supposed to. Instead, they're just putting them out by the dumpsters and also on their balconies and things too, right?
Yes, and also when they throw them in, for example, you saw the paint. Well, these right here are construction materials. Somebody was moving or didn't want patio furniture or case, they just throw it on the dumpsters.
Right.
And of course, we have places that will pick these up for you.
Right. You were saying that there's a variety of different things, right? Like, go ahead and go through each one and let us know which ones they are.
Well, for example, there's free hazardous materials door-to-door pickup, and from our waste management company. And what you do is you call 800-449-7587, and they will deliver to you a hazmat container. You put everything in it, and then they'll come out free of charge, pick it up, and take everything away.
That's great.
Now, if you have needles, you have lancets, and other home-generated sharps material, you can call the City Hall at 949-639-0500, or you can take it right over to City Hall and they will take it from you.
Okay.
Also, our City Hall will take your batteries, everything except the car battery or the golf cart battery. So they'll take the home-style batteries from you.
Okay.
If you have light bulbs, or you have CFLs, or LEDs, or the long 4-foot bar lights, which a lot of people throw in there, you can take those to Home Depot and it's free. They'll take them away for you.
Okay.
Now, we also have some other things that are provided by the city. Every third Saturday of the month, they will pick up items that you leave outside the dumpster, and you can start putting them on the night before and no later than 7 o'clock in the morning. And you should call the Village Resident Services at 949-597-4600 prior to setting these out, so they know what cul-de-sac, because they don't drive up and down every cul-de-sac.
Right.
They're waiting to hear from you.
Okay.
Now, there are items that they cannot pick up, and these are ammunition. They will not pick up any demolition or construction waste, car bodies, or hazardous waste.
Right, like what you were seeing in those
yes.
pictures.
You
Okay.
have to make the other calls for the thing there.
Right, okay.
But there's another one.
Boy,
If
there's a
you
lot.
Yeah, and these are
Okay.
all free for our residents. If you have furniture, like I saw a dumpster where it had a couch in it, and the other one next to it had the love seat, or you have patio furniture,
Or mattresses.
they will come to your home and pick up the items twice a year at your home, and it's on an on-call basis.
Right.
And all you need to do is call Resident Services again at 949-597-4600.
Okay. And if they had any questions at all regarding all this, they can call that number, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then you and I were talking a little bit about how to let the community know. So you have a sheet there that's like a move-in sheet, right? So when people move in, they get this now or they don't get it yet?
Well, we used to put in this sheet right here on the move-in, and now we have a brand new one that just came out.
Okay.
And when you get these when you move in. But what we do need is the cooperation of the real estate market.
Okay.
When somebody dies, we know here we should have somebody out there to put one of these on the window.
Okay.
But when a real estate agent lists a place, they should give some of these, what can you put in, what can you not put in the dumpsters to the people there. And when the new person comes in, they should give that also, because sometimes you arrive, you got too much stuff to go in your place.
Right.
You put it in the dumpsters. So these are some things. The other thing is hazmat materials from contractors. Contractors cannot use our dumpsters for any kind of material, any construction material. I went and had our house recarpeted. The first place we went to told us there was a carpet recycling fee of $22.
Oh.
But the next two said, oh, we don't do that, we just dump it in the nearest dumpster. So these are illegal things that are being done. And of course, we got to take care of this, because sometimes people get hurt. In one dumpster, somebody threw some old Drano Cristos, 2 cans that were rusted. They threw some old gasoline cans that were rusted and leaking. And then they threw Purex and other chemicals on there.
Oh,
and it reacted, and there was chlorine gas.
Oh, no.
So I could detect it because I was trained by the LA Fire Department in the CERT program. So we can't have these things happening, because someday somebody's going to get really hurt.
Right, right. Now, we do have a couple of flyers that I think we've been showing, so maybe we can go through some of those real quick. The Household Hazardous Waste Disposal Services, which is what we talked about. And these are the materials that are accepted. So you've got, why don't we just run through that a little bit? You've got fire extinguishers.
Yes.
So do people normally have to get rid of them?
Yes. The fire extinguishers that are bought today last for 10 years, but the ones that were bought before last year only have a 5-year life. And even though this thing may say it's good and charge, it's not. Because the minute you pull that handle, you'll get a little puff, and that's it.
Okay.
So people dump those.
And then household cleaners. Now, what if they have nothing left in the container? Can you then put it in the trash can or not?
Yes, no, you cannot, because some of these still have pressure in them. The cans
the cans have pressure. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the other things is people buy new barbecues, or somebody has passed and they throw the old barbecue away, and it's got a 5-gallon container of propane.
Right.
A 5-gallon container can take out an 8-car garage.
Oh, geez. Well, don't put that in
So
there.
you don't want those in there. And these are the type of things that people do. And a paint is becoming a very big thing. People are throwing the paint cans in, as the picture showed, into the dumpsters.
Right.
And sometimes they're empty, but sometimes they're full.
Right.
Or they leave them outside and they sit there for weeks to months before they're picked up.
Well, there's an awful lot of information that I think, like you said, needs to go to the residents either upon move out, upon move in, and hopefully you can get those materials to those folks. So thank you so much for all the information. This is great.
Well, I thank you for inviting me.
We appreciate you sharing this. And again, if anyone has any questions, they can always go call Resident Services and look up all that information. Thanks again.
Or go to City Hall and pick these up.
Or City Hall. Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.
Your loved one is struggling, trying to maintain independence in their home, ActiCare can help. Our caregivers provide home care services to relieve the strain placed on family and make staying at home possible. Don't let another day go by without getting the care they deserve.
We can provide your loved one the care they need and motivation and give you peace of mind. Please call to set up a free care consultation.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
Hello, Laguna Woods. My name is Rick Bradford, and I am the pastor of Saddleback Church of Laguna Woods. I would like to invite you to join your friends and neighbors right here in Clubhouse 5 every Sunday as we worship, as we enjoy a free breakfast, and as we learn from our pastor, Rick Warren, the author of the best-selling book, The Purpose-Driven Life. Please be assured that you will be warmly welcomed at either our 9 or 11 a.m. service. I look forward to meeting you personally.
Dr. Farman Cosmetic and Implant Dentistry is located right outside Gate 6 and has been keeping the village smiling for many years.
I have really learned to love Dr. Farman through the years, almost 20 years now that she's been my dentist. And I highly recommend her to anyone here in Laguna Woods or in Orange County looking to establish a relationship with a dentist who will be there for them and take care of all of their dental needs.
Near Snooty Fox Restaurant, behind Coco's.
Well, coming up on March 2nd is the movie Roman J. Israel, Esquire. And Lisa, you're going to tell us all about this.
I am, and that is starring Denzel Washington and also Colin Farrell. It's directed by Dan Gilroy, and it is a PG-13 movie. And it's about a driven, idealistic defense attorney who finds himself in a tumultuous series of events that lead to a crisis and the necessity for extreme action. That really doesn't say enough about the movie, I think, but nonetheless, it stars Denzel Washington, so I'm assuming it's a pretty good movie. Haven't seen it, and that is airing on Friday, March 2nd at 2 p.m., and that is brought to you by Breastlink.
Yeah, and I saw just the trailer of it, and it's really, you know, he kind of works outside the system, so to speak, meaning that the law firm he works for, they let him go, then another one rehires him just because he battles with everyone.
Oh, sure.
So one of those kind of movies, and that will be Friday. Now, a really spectacular movie on Monday. I saw this in the theaters. It's called Wonder, and it's based on the New York Times bestseller. And it tells the story of an inspiring and heartwarming story of August Pullman, a boy with facial deformities who enters the first grade, attending a mainstream elementary school for the fifth grade.
The fifth grade.
Yes, for the first time. Excellent, excellent movie. Very well acted. Jacob Tremblay plays the young boy. Owen Wilson is in this, and Julia Roberts. This, we went to go see it because this is a book that was read in the fifth grade.
Oh, right.
And so my...
And how fitting, too, because he's entering the fifth grade.
Yeah, so my wife, who teaches fifth grade, and my daughter and I went to go see it. And it is really a heartwarming story. And although it's not based on a true story, there are kids with the same kind of facial differences.
Right.
And that's really what this is about, and how they deal with it, and you will love it. I mean, it's a tearjerker, but heartwarming. It's you know, a good ending to it. So I highly, highly recommend Wonder, and that will be Monday on March 5th, and really an excellent acted movie. I'm going to tell you about the other movies coming up.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, I am. Our Friday movies coming up for this month. The first one is the one with Denzel, but then we have Coco, another excellent movie. This is Disney Pixar, and it goes through all the Day of the Dead, the Land of the Dead, and I just understood this morning this is up for a couple Academy Awards. It's being honored today in Hollywood, but it's the #1 movie of all time in Mexico.
Oh, really?
The #1 movie of all time, and it is on like the highest list of the best animated feature of all time. Very good movie. Darkest Hour, up for several Academy Awards. Story of Winston Churchill in the early days of World War II. And then we have 4, Ragnarok, and that's the fun Marvel movie.
I almost watched that last night.
Yeah,
I probably should have, because
it's really a fun movie. I enjoyed that.
I hear it's fun.
Then another kind of fun movie in a way is I, Tonya, about Tonya Harding. And this is up for an awards for Allison Janney, who plays Tonya Harding's mother. And of course, this is based on a true story from the time she was a little girl all the way up to the incident during the U.S. Figure Skating Championship. So a very well acted movie. This is one of those movies I first heard about thinking, this looks a little corny, but it's got some awards.
Well, she's been getting an awful lot of you know, hype lately.
Yes, yeah. And then on Monday, same kind of different as me. I don't know much about this, and it's about a homeless man and to save his struggling marriage to his wife. Wonderstruck. This looks like a very good movie about 2 kids, totally different generations and their living conditions, but somehow they're connected. And I don't know much more about it, but it looks good. And then keeping with the superhero thing, this time DC Comics Justice League, which is Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman.
Oh, very good.
All right.
Do you want to tell us about the weather again?
Yeah, you know, if you watch...
Because we have some weather.
Yeah, if you're watching us in the morning, expect rain throughout the day, scattered showers. But here we go. Remember, I told you almost an hour ago, it was sunny when I got up, and then it was raining. Now, if you're looking outside, we got some blue sky out there, but there is a chance of the rain continuing. Well, it probably will on and off. Also a chance of thunderstorm. Okay. And I actually saw it snowing not long ago up on Saddleback. So
yeah,
that's
it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
All right, we will see you tomorrow.
Do we want to know what's on tomorrow?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Tomorrow we have Dr. Michael Galt with Memorial Care. We have Shirley Witt with the Senior Center. And then Renee Devereaux with the Club for Creative Expression.
Yep.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.